Okay, we are recording and live streaming when you are ready, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I'll call the Human Resources and Public Works Committee to order. Call for the public. Do we have any public?
We do not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Then, our first item is consider approving the proposal with Refrigeration and Mechanical Services LLC for courthouse rooftop unit repairs in the amount of $24,932.84. We have Steve Sherman, that facilities director here. Mr. Bell.
Good morning. Hey, before you get started, I'm going to do a little test because I don't see our microphone. Yeah, good morning. We're good. Thank you.
So if you remember back in, it would have been early August, we had that blackout in town. I took out one of the compressors in the rooftop unit on the north side of the courthouse. That unit runs the whole entire north side of the courthouse. The way that system is set up is there's 4 compressors in that system. The 2 are plumbed together, and these 2, and they work in succession. Problem we had when 2 of them burned up, it was 1 on each sequence. Because they're plumbed together, they use the same compressor now. So the oil in the one that burned up is gonna affect the other compressor. We need to replace all 4, otherwise we won't have any warranty on these compressors, and they're $5,000 compressors. They're 14-ton, they're pretty good size. What we did was we improved the system, thinking that it was running 2 on the 1 system to get it by to the last part of the summer. This is something that's not gonna keep up, and it's gonna be an issue come next spring. So I took around and got some quotes, and the best one I could find was from Refrigeration Mechanical Services out of Greenville, I believe they are. At a cost of $24,933.84. They were quite a bit cheaper because we went with an alternate refrigerant. Crane will not re-warranty their compressors with an alternate refrigerant. So I made sure that Refrigeration Mechanical Services would themselves warranty it for the manufacturer's 3 years, so we're covered there. The good thing about that is what it normally uses R22 refrigerant. That stuff's like $1,300 for 30 pounds of it, and it takes 120 pounds for this. So we're talking a big chunk of money. So I decided to go with them with the alternate refrigerant because we're saving $8,500, and they are going to warranty the compressors if we do have an issue.
Boy, it really helps to get out the details, right? And you know what's happening, things change so fast and all that kind of stuff.
And if we have a leak on it, now we're not buying that expensive refrigerant to fix it. We can go with the cheaper alternate refrigerant. So they'll save us money in the long run that way as well. Any questions?
How long do they warranty the units?
4 years.
Mhm.
Now that air handler up there was manufactured in '99, obviously it wasn't in service till 2000. But keep in mind, it's already almost 23 years old, and that's gonna affect both of them. So I'm anticipating the same thing happening with the other rooftop, who knows for sure, but something to look for down the road.
All of ours are set up that way.
As far as how they're connected that way on the courthouse there on that rooftop, yes.
There's 2 big rooftop units.
Yep, one runs the north half, first to second floor, the other south half. So if we were not to do this and it went out in the summer and I'm
Oh.
going to bet a lot of money, we would bet a lot of money, it's gonna, you wouldn't have any air conditioning until your courtrooms or your hearing rooms or any of the offices on the north end building. I'm a feel the sweat.
You had other quotes or not?
I did. I had
Okay.
2 other quotes of 2 other businesses. Like I said, they were both within a few $100s, but they were sticking with the R22 for the warranty part of
Sure,
it. So that's
that
why
makes
their bid
sense.
was so much higher.
Yep.
When I did the RFP on it, I told them I would hope to give me suggestions as far as the alternate refrigerant, whatever. The other 2 that bid didn't feel comfortable doing that. Didn't want to stand behind them if they did go down, were RMS wood.
I'm wondering if we should include that in the report, just for
In-
transparency.
I think that's a good idea.
Good.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, I
We can
agree, this
update
is
it.
the company to go with. But so everybody knows what the process was.
No, just get it, if you can just put that information in here and get it to Jessica before Friday.
Okay. You just want to get tips.
Yeah, just a little, you've done that, you've done that before in some of your staff reports where you talk about that, you went out for an RFP. These were the responses, these are the prices, just,
No problem.
This is why we went with this one.
yes.
Yeah.
Even if
Yep.
it's a little more, I don't think how, where they came in, but
Like I say, they're both about $8,500.
Good.
And
There you go.
they're the two bids
Mhm.
within a couple $100.
Sure, make a motion to consider approving the proposal with Refrigeration Mechanic Services LLC for courtroom rooftop unit repairs in the amount of $24,933.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 3 to the work and regular sessions of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 3 will be forwarded to next week's work and regular session of the county commission.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
thanks, Steve.
Have a good day.
Okay, our next item is consider approving the fiscal year 2023 Isabella County Commission on Aging Christian site agreements for congregate meal sites with Shepherd United Methodist Church at the rate of $150 per month, Fremont Township Wing Community Building at the rate of $300 per month, Rosebush Manor at the rate of $90 per month, and Sherman Township Wademan at the rate of $250 per month. And authorize the board chair to sign the same. Hi, Jennifer.
Good morning. Good morning.
Director
Yeah.
of-
Yeah, so before you, these are our nutrition, the agreements for our nutrition sites. So these are our 4 outlying congregate sites throughout the county: Shepherd, Wynn, Wademan, and Rosebush. And so this allows us to utilize their facilities and provide our lunches, our hot lunches, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, out at those sites. The rates have not changed. Actually, I don't believe they've changed since I've been here. The townships and the organization have stuck with the same rate for us over this amount of time. And this just allows us to use that space and have a place to be and have a place for folks to congregate.
Wow, that's really nice. It's not been raised or anything, right?
Yes, I know.
They haven't changed since I've been on the board.
No,
Uh,
no, it's great. And they're great facilities. So we're spread out nicely throughout the county. And I think we're in great locations and everything has been going really well. Our site managers out on all the locations have been doing just an amazing job recently. Really working on promoting their sites and getting the word out. And we've been increasing our numbers at all of the sites. And so we're really excited for this next year to see it even grow even more.
Jennifer, I know I asked this last year, but why is it, you gave me a good explanation last year, I don't remember. Why is there a difference in different sites?
A difference in the site amounts? Is that what you asked? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Yeah, I think it's just in back whenever they were negotiated with the townships, I think they just came up with the amount. And that covers all utilities. It covers everything for us to utilize their space. Rosebush Manor, that would be so much less because it is an existing nursing or long-term center, and we utilize their space, and then they allow others in the Rosebush community to come out to that site. So I think that is so much less compared to the others just because it's already in existence and there's not a lot of extra cost that they're incurring as a result of us being there. But the other locations is just what those townships, what they had negotiated back at the time.
Thank you.
I think
Mhm.
recognize how valuable that is to their constituents.
Absolutely. Gives them a place to, especially I think even more so after the pandemic, I think, giving them a place to come out and socialize. And for those who may not feel comfortable coming all the way out to the COA, it does give them a place locally and for them and their neighbors to get together even.
Any more questions or comments on this item? Hearing none.
Make a motion to consider approving the fiscal year 2023 Isabel County Commission on Aging nutrition site agreements for Connegrant Neal Sites and Shepherd United Methodist Church at the rate of $150 per month. Fremont Township Wynn Community Building at the rate of $300 per month. Rosebush Manor at the rate of $900 per month. And Sherman Township Wayman at the rate of $250 per month, and authorized board chair to sign this.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 4 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 4 will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission next week.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Jen.
Yes, have a great day.
Okay. Moving on, our next item is consider approving the contract with Central Asphalt Incorporated in the amount of $141,346.47 for the asphalt repairs at the Isabella County Material Recovery Facility, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. We have Jake Horton, our material recovery facility director here. Hi.
Morning. As you can see, obviously the asphalt's been down, probably closer to 30 years, but, the facility went online in 92. It's the actual initial start date. That was clean energy grant money that, put that facility online. So the asphalt is starting to get into some pretty bad repair as far as, all the heavy truck traffic and everything. We put out for an RFP in September, received bids. We received only one bid back, that was from Central Asphalt. This was the second time this was released. We didn't receive any bids the first time. I tried to reach out to different asphalt companies to come in and bid, ended up with the only one that did show up for Central Asphalt. But at least it's a local company, that's a huge positive for Isabella County. That was using a local company. And at $141,346.47 was the total on the bid. We have 2% funding for specifically for asphalt of $128,845. We've asked the tribe to use other 2% funding to make up the difference of the $12,501.47 to get the total of amount there of 141,346.47. So that obviously there's nothing out of the general out of our general budget for the year to be able to do this project. We're using 2% fund balance out to be able to utilize something that'll actually give back to the county and the fact that we're improving to the facility. Any questions on any of it?
Is asphalt one of the things that are, going higher and higher all the time?
It is, it's like everything else in the market right now. The pricing on everything is skyrocketing.
They're probably all busy too, but.
It
all the
is.
Road construction.
That was one of the things when I talked to the gentleman from Central Asphalt, that, he pretty much indicated that, we had our timelines were there, that, if it could be done this fall, sure, but we really set our expectations to look at the spring of the year for ending timeline on that RFP. We're sure that, he indicated that they wouldn't get to it this fall in no way, shape, or form. It would be something that they could look at one of their first jobs in the spring to be able to get that. Yeah.
So, but is the price locked in for that?
It would be on the signature of the staff.
Got it.
I would say they just did a fantastic job for us out at the animal shelter. If you haven't seen that parking lot, it looks wonderful. Quite a nice improvement.
It's amazing what the aesthetics.
It is. It really is.
And the big thing for us is that, just running equipment around our pile and our skid steer around within the facility, the asphalt's getting bad enough close to the building where we're moving that equipment around. It's the heavy equipment. Wow. So this is gonna save on that side of it. It'll be the approach. It'll also include the approach to the scale. So that'll reduce a lot of the needing to understand the transition period from on and off the scale.
That being said, I'll make a motion to consider approving the contract with Central Asphalt Incorporated in the amount of $141,346.47 for the asphalt repairs at the Louisville County Material Recovery Facility and authorize board chair to sign it.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move on. Item 5 is a work in regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, the same. Ayes carried. The item will be forwarded to the work in regular session of the county commission. Thank you, Chief.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, moving along. Consider approving the merchant agreement between Avalon Incorporated and Isabella County pending legal counsel approval to accept and process credit card payments in the pending recreation management system and authorize the board chair to sign that.
Good morning, ladies.
I got my whole chair.
You need a ladder? There you go.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good
You
morning.
guys remember Miranda?
We do, yeah.
She's our credit card expert and the applications expert of dealing with the credit card. company. So this is a follow-up from our October 18th meeting with the commission. Canvas, our new reservation system was approved, and it was mentioned that, that we would be back for the approval, for review and hopefully the approval of the new credit card company. So we right now use global payments, which cannot work very well with the gateway people that we are using with Canvas. And so this is something that Miranda has researched, I've reviewed.
Oh, yeah, I do know. Little Forrest Gump.
On the commission of the
Order or something.
Elevon is the company that we're looking at, and we do get better rates with them. And there's a couple of other fees that we came across with, like an annual fee, but it's gonna work well with the gateway. I don't know if you want to explain that. I mean, that's what we-
Yeah, so this Elevon was recommended by Camus itself. That's who they use as one of their payment processors. And then also Isabella Bank, who we bank with, they are also recommending Elevon as well. So that was kind of a nice thing to have both of them recommending that. But yeah, so Elevon would be our new payment processor before we had global payments. And so they, we looked into that company Elevon, and they were able to provide us better rate than what we currently are getting with global payments as well, which was another.
We did have the agreement that you guys have in your packet taking. And we had our outside counsel, took a look at that. And he was definitely fine. The credit card agreements have been like that. They're pretty standard.
Wasn't this the one that had that governmental addendum or something that he was, yeah.
But we were
he really
informed
liked
that we needed, and I don't think Tobin would have minded giving us his social security number. and birthday to sign it. Go do it. And we were like, "There's no
Yeah.
way." So, yeah, there was something that you guys had come across before. Was it I don't even know what it was.
I think it was a statute that Treasurer Pickens provided to us to say that basically governmental employees are immune or exempt from that requirement because by gosh, everybody else gives us their social security number.
Sure.
I'll give you the last four numbers, that's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I let the gentleman know, he was very straightforward and we need the signature plus. And they said, okay, we'll do that with you. And then we got something from Gus that, right, that copy of the statute from you guys, and then it was, there was even no response. He just sent us the agreement. He wouldn't send us the agreement until you signed it.
Didn't know that. I mean, don't they do it
Yeah.
better?
Well, I don't know. He just.
Yeah.
We just said, he just never responded, which is kind of weird. We just sent
Weird.
him something to
Yeah,
say.
nobody puts their social security. No, that's-
But I did say the same thing, maybe your not your birthday either. I mean, unless they send you a card or something.
Who else involved here?
So,
We used to put it on our time sheets every day. That was years ago.
oh,
We had to put our social security number on. With those computer
yeah,
The punch cards.
dot sheets where you
Yeah.
fill in the dots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bubble sheets.
that's been a while.
One question, you take, American Express. You get charged a higher rate.
It's actually pretty comparable to Discover, which we also accept as well. It may be a little bit higher, but not so much.
not like it used to be.
Yeah.
So much more.
I think when we first had the credit card, that was a high fee, so we just didn't take it, except for Discover seemed to be more competitive, but I think American Express was realizing. that.
So, Sue Ann, does this all come online at the beginning of the year? With the Canvas
Marina, we wanna take
reservation
it.
system?
We're keeping it.
Yes, we are hoping to go live with the system possibly the end of February, beginning of March.
Okay,
January's kind of a tight turnaround right now. But we
okay.
could definitely
Yeah.
hope, and they know how important it is, Canvas does, to that early January, February start. We did start in February last year, so we used to be in a January, deadline. You know, if you recall, the
Yeah,
first Friday was when people lined up. out
Yeah.
front, but we're not- We haven't done that since COVID. Literally through 2011. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, so people started getting their winter tent out and their zip up,
Mhm.
sleeping bag, and yeah, they were there for a long time, so. Anyways, well, the night before, like 3, 4 o'clock.
Mhm. When we
We
leave
started
work,
coming.
they were there when we
Yeah.
left work the day before.
Yeah,
Yes.
but anyway, so, we'll be in good shape. I mean, we do start taking reservations for 30-day or more or seasonal. And, Miranda handles those as well, just people will call. This system will allow them maybe to do it, but it gets funky with the date change and all that, so we. Like if they want to change just one date or two, they can't do that. You know, you get what you had last year, so that's why we need to. As you recall, we had 50 people on the waiting list for season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we want to handle it as fair as we can, which we do. And really
I'm
make
sure they appreciate the personal touch too.
Oh, for sure. And they just talk to, I mean, like if Miranda's like at lunch or something, we'll take the information. If their other office staff will take the information. However, Miranda will get back with them. So it is really their direct contact, because it's a higher fee, obviously,
Mhm.
than people are spending. So that works out very well for us. We used to have one seasonal. when I first started. And that was only every 3 years, 4 years. And then all of a sudden just tells you how, camping the last, 10 years probably is really different. So. No more lunches. We won't, we talked about that. I told you that. With our page room. So that is,
I just wondered if you guys had communications with Global Payments and how all that is gonna run out. Do they know that our relationship's coming to an end with them?
We have to provide them, I think, a 30 or 60-day
Perfect.
notice. But since we're still using them, we're still using Civic Rec reservation system right now because Deerfield is still open for camping reservations. So we do still need to utilize Global Payments in the meantime. But yes, once we are able to start using Elavon, we will be able to.
Perfect. Perfect.
a good question, because really when, this is all a timing thing.
It
you know,
is.
Same with Camus, you know, Civic Plus has been notified as well that we need to extend to January, and then we let them know probably when all this is settled. We need them to still close out the season too, so we're being upfront, we're in meetings with them and, but we haven't been catching very pleased with that service. I mean, not their customer service, but just answers to questions why in the process.
Support.
Yeah, yeah, just that
Well,
the system never worked. I mean, completely for us with the map and the grid, never. They discounted it with credits last year, which meant we almost didn't pay hardly anything for the year, but we staff time and frustration is really
Yeah.
tough, so.
This is gonna be a lot better service
yeah,
to provide.
yeah.
That being said, I'll make a motion to consider approving the merchant agreement between Avalon Incorporated, Isabel County, pending on legal counsel approval to accept, process credit card payments in the recreation management system and authorize board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 6 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carried. The item 6 will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. Okay, our next item. Consider approving the process fee of $5 for each individual item reserved on the Parks Online Recreation Management System effective November 1st, 2022. That's soon.
Well, this is, as mentioned at the last meeting, we said in 2020 that we needed a $5 reservation fee to be approved. It was recommended by the Parks Board and then approved by the Board of County Commissioners. Going with our current reservation system, Civic Plus, that's what it was for each total reservation. I mean, it was just how we were wording it, but who knew it was going to change with the new company that it's per reservation. So one is Civic Rex is per cart. So you make up 5 reservations, it's going to be $5. And Camus, actually, that's how they do it with the state per reservation. So it'll be $5 per reservation that a person does, and then that will be multiple. Correct. Then once they get in the cart, and we will explain that very well at the beginning, so people know that that's an increased fee. And we, with the increase of the Camus, the payment for Camus is, that will definitely help offset that. And also, I guess just clarify it in that I know when I'm talking with Nicole, I said, it says $5 per reservation, but, and Miranda and I were talking too, it doesn't feel good, like to say, oh, surprise, that.
Yeah,
Oh,
This or that, so we don't want to do that. So, the Parks Board at their last meeting did approve the recommendation as stated. So that's what we need to do. We're asking for approval for this new fee of $5 to be the reservation. And really going with, I guess we talked to you about, we're not raising our campground fees. I mean, many campgrounds in our local area now are $50 or over. We're still at $25.
Wow.
This additional $5, I think would be, I know people don't need more increases in anything, but this is something that it's definitely, I think we need to.
it's only an increase if you're reserving more than one site.
Kind of like a tax when there's a service fee when you do a motel or
Right.
per room is always has a room fee. I mean, I think that's, a common fee, but we're not taking it like. We'll let people know. Into their concerns.
and if I don't wanna pay the $5 fee at all, I just come in and see you and make my reservation, correct? Or we don't do that at all, it's all online.
Yep, because we're still utilizing online system to help them with the reservation.
Gotcha.
We are still-
Okay, so it
Good
is,
question,
okay,
Mary.
Okay.
Some of our reservation fees did have a different, like you didn't do online but that doesn't, I feel like you're always online. You have to input any information into the reservation system. I mean, when we did our demo.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of something that's not a constant all across the board, like there's a mix of what people are doing, but, this is what Camus does, and, we just, with the cost of this program, this is something, we pass on, would be passed on. But
In the Parks and Rec, meeting, if we don't do it, then we're gonna pay
right,
it, and it's something that brings up.
and so many people that can't do use state parks, so they know this is their system. I mean, a number of people that, when we first were looking into that, just, they were thrilled with the system, like references for them, so.
I like it. I've used it.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it works really well.
Excited.
Okay. That being said, I'll make a motion. Consider approving the process fee $5 for each individual item reserved on the Parks Online Recreation Management System effective November 1st, 2020.
Support. It's been moved and supported. to Move item 7 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 7 will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. Miranda, good to see you.
We'd like to
Good
close
day,
out this
ladies.
meeting.
Thank you, ladies. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, we saved the best for last.
Okay. is there any public out there?
There is not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
That be the case, I will adjourn the meeting.